Hey,
Here we are.
hey. Came off great.
All right.
How's
Gotta be
everyone
quick.
doing?
Gotta be quick on the fingers.
Yep. Nimble finger of fate. There you go. Good job.
So this is our debut episode, whatever you want to call it, video for our series of live streams, Retro TV Rewind. Hello. Whoop. There he is. Gruesome twosome, gruesome twosome.
Yep.
Hey,
That's accurate, I'd
thanks,
say, at
Jay.
least on my part. Thanks, Jay.
So, this series, I don't know whether we want to talk. There's not a lot of people here yet, but um, basically, back when I first started my channel, this was an idea that I had floating around. No, that's unacceptable, David.
Uh-oh. What did
Fell
he put
asleep
up
and missed the
there?
first minute. It is unforgivable.
Yes, you're gonna have to go back and watch, the awesome opening that Rob put together here, David.
So, what we're going to be doing is hopefully around each month, we're going to be doing one of these. We're going to be picking a genre. Me and Jeff will take turns picking the genre. And then each of us will pick two shows representing that genre. There's no rules for why we pick the shows. It could be we think it's the best of the genre. It could be we think it's the worst of the genre. It could be a nostalgia pick from our childhood, which one of them today is, for me anyway. It could be something that's really obscure that we just want to, bring some light and attention to. It could be something that we absolutely hate and we just need to rant about it for a while. Basically, if it's a show that we want to talk about. And like I said, we'll be going through different genres each month. And hopefully in future ones, we'll be having guests on who will also pick two shows. And the only real rule, sort of, that we have right now is that no person can pick a show whose broadcast premiere happened after the year that they turned 20. So, for example, I was born in 64. So I'm not allowed to pick any shows that premiered after 1984. Just a few years younger, so he has a little more leeway. If we get
87.
somebody, yeah,
1987
if we
was my
get somebody younger on, then they can absolutely have even more leeway. That way, if we do have people different age, we're not dismissing their childhood memories as well. We want everybody to be able to feel that they can nerd about the things that they loved as a child. And okay.
and still do in my case, and your
Oh yeah,
case as
oh yeah.
well, I'm sure.
As I'm surrounded by all the memorabilia from those shows. Let's see who we got.
Yeah, we got a few more people. Hey,
MC.
you have your
You
green
have your
tea
green
ready?
tea ready. Yes, I
Unfortunately,
do.
I'm not a
I
big
have
fan,
I
even though
have
I'm in
my
Green Tea
spare
City.
bottle and
Your
my
green
water
tea, I guess
chaser.
your Mountain Dew. You don't have your Stein today, though.
I do. It's here.
Oh, you do? Okay, there it is.
Those are my refills to refill the Stein.
We have Rains Ramsky.
Rain. Okay. So Rain is my sister-in-law.
Oh, right, the artist, right?
The fantastic artist. If you haven't, go check out her work.
Welcome.
And also, she is our resident Doctor Who. Well, I guess we should. I guess it's not going to be a spoiler. One of the shows we're going to be talking about.
One of my picks, Doctor
That
Who.
guy. So she's going to be keeping us honest because she knows more about the show than anybody I've ever met. She's from all the episodes, the extended universe, the comics, the Big Finish audio.
She'll have to fill me in on that stuff because I'm
so
mostly familiar with the classic series and the novelizations. But
we're just a couple of dudes nerding out about stuff.
a couple of dudes nerding out. We don't claim to be
or,
experts. Yeah, we don't claim to be experts. Just geek experts, I guess. Well, anyway, welcome, Rains. And yeah, I do have a Zatoichi box. Is what next to my Rockford and Magnum PI. Yeah, so I have a few of my live streams, Jay. I've had showing off some of my DVDs and Blu-rays and such. So I am as much into that stuff as I am into books, if not more so. So, in fact, that side has kind of dwindled a bit as I've focused on books over the last year or plus of doing BookTube. So my watching has dropped considerably. It's funny, you have only so much room to make for those fun things. So at least I only have so much room for them.
Yeah, it's getting tough math. I got to do math.
That's two
okay.
shows. I got to think for 2 shows.
Well, and he has to figure out things before he turns
20. I
20.
see. That's right. His year cut off. Well, David, you're about my age. So, same thing, 67, 68. So it'd be 88 for you.
Don't worry, David. We're not checking IDs at the door. You could just make it up and go, oh, yeah, I'm 20. I can talk about anything.
It's a to-do stream.
At least.
Oh, we got Joe here. He can't stick around too much, but he's on a break. Hey, Joe, glad you could make it.
Hey, Joe.
Well, okay. Rob, you wanna chat for a bit more to see if more people show up, or you want to get into one of the shows? What do you want to do?
Well, okay. The other thing that I did want to say, sorry, my brain is all over the place right now. But one of the things I also wanted this to do on this is I do want to include chat and have this be a community discussion. So if we're talking about a show and you have things to say, that's one of the reasons why we're only picking 2 shows a piece. Is one, we get to dive deeper into that show, and also we can get time to talk to the chat and include the community in the conversation.
For sure.
Because otherwise this stream will go on for 12 hours and I'm old and my bladder will not last that long. I don't know why. I don't know why I have to pee every 20 minutes, but
that Mountain Dew doesn't have anything to do with it. We definitely want to have people, participating and taking part in this. And hey, Richard, did your stream finish up? Good to see you. It was a very cool stream. What I saw of it, I'll try to check out the rest later. Yeah. You're in my demographic perfectly. I bet you have watched most of the shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know, because that means that we can count on you as being one of our guests on one of these.
Yes, for sure, Richard. We'll have to have you on. It'll probably have to be a science fiction show, I'm guessing. Although maybe he watched plenty of the other shows too. Even though a lot of us have certain favorite genres, I'm sure all of us, especially back then before the internet, in the old days before the internet, when we just had TV and books and albums and things, we had a lot of time to check out pretty much every kind of show. I mean, I know if it was on TV, I probably at least watched one episode at least before I decided I didn't like it or not.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was one of the things I think I said in the description was, back before we all became readers, this is how most of us got our stories, is through a set of rabbit ears or coaxial cable if you're younger. But back in the days of rabbit ears, when you had, like, depending on where you live, 3 to 5 channels, and you'd go through your TV guide and circle all of your favorite shows.
Those rabbit ears. Our rabbit ears never worked where we were because we were in a pretty rural area, but we had a giant antenna, cool antenna. And so on it didn't matter if it was rainy or whatever. I'd have to go out and I want to get the Portland stations, because we're like halfway between Portland and Seattle, and I have to turn the antenna to face the right direction to get better reception. The good old days. But circling or highlighting things in the TV guide, and it was a good time. Now we live in a time of plenty where we can get access to everything, which is great. But there's a little bit of magic lost, I think.
Yeah. Well, because if you missed the show when it showed, maybe you got lucky and saw it on the rerun during the summer, but otherwise there was no on-demand or streaming. So if you missed it, you were just out of luck. Let's see. Hey, Richard, thanks for hosting Randy Ray. I've never seen him on this side of book.
Yeah, Randy's a good guy. Yeah, and he seems to be doing well. He's kind of found a niche for his show where he talks mostly about how to read more and things, and he's doing well. Glad to see his health seemed to be hanging in there too. Nabbed, yeah.
Yeah,
And Phil mentions the Invaders, and we'll definitely be covering the Invaders at some time because I love that show.
Yes. Not today, but yes.
Not today, though. Not today, though.
I
Actually, I didn't
guarantee
even think about
you
the Invaders today.
that science fiction is one of those genres that's going to keep coming around over and over because that's probably my deepest point of knowledge and fandom is in science fiction.
Yeah, probably me too.
But we'll be discussing genres. We'll be picking genres from westerns, detectives, cop shows, comedies, variety shows, whatever, or strange, even made up subgenres of shows featuring animals, whatever. Whatever we one of us feels like talking about.
Yeah, we're not going to run out of stuff, and we'll definitely come back to the science fiction genre all the time. So.
But yeah, science fiction. I have so many. Well, I have a 10 terabyte hard drive where I've downloaded all my DVDs and a few that I may have got that weren't officially released on DVD, but somehow magically appeared on my hard drive. So I have hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of science fiction shows and other shows. So
I have several terabytes of British shows for sure too.
So we will probably, if there's a show that you love, especially in science fiction, chances are we will be hitting it sometime in the future.
Definitely.
My dad with the antenna, yes. When we lived in the Midwest and those storms would come and blow the antenna the wrong way around, and you had to go back there.
Hey, Brett. Yeah, those are the days. Yeah, it sounds like a crappy time in some ways because we didn't have any lovely HD streams. I remember the first time I my friend and I spending hours trying to get a signal to watch Portland station airing a Doctor Who episode with Tom Baker, and we just couldn't get it. We gave up after about an hour and a half. We couldn't just follow anything. It was all snow. Oh, well.
A book sale and there was nothing. Rob gets bags and bags. Yes.
David, you mean you went to a library book sale and it was crap? Wow, that's surprising. It seems like everyone gets really good stuff there.
No. It's you, David.
Yeah, it's you, David.
You come to Phoenix because we've got so many thrift stores and
yeah, it seems like Phoenix and Texas. I mean, Jake just finds so much stuff at that recycled book.
There's like a Goodwill every 10 blocks or so here. They're just everywhere.
Whenever I went into Goodwill, they always have crap. It's like Jacqueline Suzanne novels and 20 copies of.
A lot of times they do, but we generally make a day of it, and we'll hit 10 to 12 Goodwills in one particular side of town a day, and then go to another side of town the next week, and then hit the library sales on top of that, and some of the used bookstores. So, yeah, we do always end up with bags and bags. In fact, because I have so much stuff to do next month, I'm not even doing my last book haul video. It's like, we're just going to skip it this time because
it's food for famine. You guys have a ton, and I think I'm going to have 5 books to show off on my book haul, and I had to go search for a couple of new ones to be able to even have that many to show off.
Let's see.
Oh yeah, lots of great
shows. Many genre shows back in the day. Certainly doesn't have to be SF. Whether it is Man from U.N.C.L.E. or Get Smart, Ironside, or Rockford Files, lots of fun. Yep,
we'll begin to those.
All of those. In fact, I think I've said it on. I don't know if I said it on comments or somewhere before. Rockford Files is hands down my favorite PI show of all time.
That's probably
Magnum PI comes in probably close second.
Magnum PI is surprisingly good. A lot of people probably just think of it as an artifact of the 80s, but if you watch it again, especially when it gets into the full swing of things by season 2 or so, it's really good.
Both those shows really hold up. They're very well written. Richard or Mutual's Omaha.
Yeah, Mutual Omaha's Wild Kingdom coming to you live from the Safari Park in California.
Murder Bottom Europe.
Yeah. Marlon Perkins, and then going to was it Jack Hanna that worked with Marlon Perkins? So Marlon would be in the studio somewhere totally safe, and Jack Hanna would be out there wrestling a lion or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, do you want to go first with your show?
For me, whether you want to or not.
Do you want to go? Yeah, vintage
Okay.
puzzles. Find vintage puzzles for me. Yeah, there you go. That's good. Did you want to
Okay.
start with your show, or how do you want to do this there, Rob?
I don't know which one. Which we want to start with?
Why don't you start with yours, and then
Okay.
we'll
So
alternate American, British, because it turned out I
okay.
picked 2 British and you picked 2 American shows. So
Well, actually, one of mine is a British-German co-production.
oh,
So
that's
only one
right.
of mine is
Yeah,
an
yeah,
American show.
that's
But
right. I forgot. Yeah.
I think I actually mentioned this on David's channel at Garage Geek back when you, me, Damien,
Yeah.
and Chadwick were on there. That when people talk about their earliest memory, most people pick some of that. I remember that time Dad took us to Coney Island. Where, for me, my earliest memory was a routine of sitting on the living room floor Monday through Friday afternoons, watching our black and white television and watching Lost in Space.
Wow, cool.
So Lost in Space was I was like 3.5 years old, and I loved that show so much. I remember I'm gonna put up.
Perfect age group for Lost in Space, 3.5.
Yeah, and I
Maybe a little older.
realized that that show is hard to watch as an
Oh,
adult.
it's fun. It's fun. The first 5 episode kind of arc is pretty great. The black and
Those
white
I
version.
agree. I will stand by that those first 5 episodes of the show still hold up as fantastic space adventure television. I mean, I can rewatch those over and over again. And then after that, there's a handful of episodes here and
Yeah.
there that were pretty good. And then it went into the whole camp Dr. Smith show after that.
Yeah,
But
Dr. Smith and Robbie the Robot show, basically. But I
yeah,
think the problem is that Irwin Allen does all of that with all of his shows. The Time Tunnel maybe survives better because it's just one season, but he starts off with the bang, throwing a mass amount of De Niro at the first couple of episodes, especially the pilot, and then after that, it's Cheapskate City.
yeah.
And
And
especially
yeah,
Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea suffers from that. But
yeah. Urban Allen was known for just putting all of his money into his pilot episode. And the original pilot had footage from those first 5 episodes. It didn't include Dr. Smith, it didn't include the robot. And
yeah,
then when he
they
redid it,
reincorporated it in, I think.
he took that footage and broke it up into those first 5 episodes. That's why they look so amazing. And then after that, he reuses props. He'll in I'll show a picture later on the episode Derelict where he went into the studio where they were filming Fantastic Voyage, and he reused the set for that for the interior of the derelict spaceship. And let's see here. Okay, so when putting these together,
we got to get David's comment up there. Look at the dad. Yeah, Guy Williams. That's the original Disney Zorro, David.
yes,
And he was a very handsome man, and he became very frustrated with the show because it's not what he signed up for, and he ended up being sidelined along with June Lockhart, while Bill Mumy, the robot, and of course the wonderful remind me of his name. I'm
Jonathan Harris.
Jonathan Harris just runs away with the show. And Jonathan Harris's Dr. Smith starts off pretty dangerous and
very dark
and serious at the beginning.
And he just straight up trying to murder everybody on the But yeah, when I was going back looking at these photos, I'm like, well, now I understand why I've always joked about I'm obsessed with book covers and pulp covers that have people in glass tubes. Well, now I know where that comes from because this is what I was watching when I was sure they were years old.
By the book covers too. Yeah. I know a lot of kids had crushes on Veronica Cartwright on this show too, but I definitely preferred the older sister.
Oh yes, Marta Kristen.
Who
played Judy Robinson. Yeah,
Judy Robinson. Yes.
Constance, I'm bouncing between lives tonight. Spoiled for choice. That's okay. We love you, Constance. Whether you can stay or go, you can also come back and watch us.
You popped in, Constance. Saw you on Richard's live earlier, so. Yeah, that I think Jay's comment is right on there with Oh yeah, and also Richard's filler city after a few episodes. Yeah,
Yes, Time
you
Tunnel will
can
be
tell.
another show that we will eventually be covering
Oh
because
yeah,
I loved all those Irwin Allen shows.
I have the Time
Filler
Tunnel
City after a few
Blu-ray
episodes. Yes.
from England over here. Yeah, and that Jay's right that even those, I mean, what's the one with the carrots or whatever with that from season 3? I mean, that one's so bad it's good.
The Great
territory.
Vegetable Rebellion.
That's it. Yeah.
Let me
Some of them are so bad, but so funny and fun too. So, on a kitsch level, they're pretty fun.
What did I do?
I think you're fine. You just have to re-click Jay's comment if you want to move it off of there.
Well, I somehow went to
Did you get to a previous?
I was trying to figure out how to make me big. See, this is why I need this as a
you have to get rid of that photo, I think, Rob, and then move yourself over to be big.
Oh.
So if you remove that from the stage,
okay,
and then just get it back to both of us, and then make yourself big by dragging you over. Now you need to remove that one too.
I thought I already removed it. Why are you coming back? Okay.
And then click Jay's comment, and then there you go. There you go.
This is still
not that Jay's comment's great, but just to get your
see, this is why we didn't invite a guest on the first time. I have no
we're working out the kinks there at the beginning. Yes, you got to re-click his comment. Yeah, there you go, and then or just hydration
for this episode. Curl irony. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, yes, the carrot person. Yes, I have.
Oh, did your wife make that one?
Huh?
Did your wife make that one?
No. This was.
I know she makes lots of figures for you. Is that an actual?
I have a bunch of figures that she made that I'll be showing later for a different show, but yes.
Wow.
Tybo. We also.
I actually haven't seen that episode. I just know how notorious it is.
Oh, it's terrible.
The worst episode of the show, which is saying something.
And then we also have.
Right.
Athena, from The Girl from the Green Dimension.
Who's the actress who plays that?
Oh.
It's not Lee Merriweather, is it? It's probably someone.
No. It is. Hold on, I have a list of.
I know Sherry Jackson, who's so famous from the Star Trek episode, What Are Little Girls Made Of, shows up in a Hillbilly episode, Hillbillies in Space episode later in season 1, and she's a sight to behold as well. But makes life fun. Weena, Weena is from the Time Machine, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, nice props. Yeah, that's so.
I have
the very few people who don't know anything about Lost in Space. You want to do a little brief synopsis of the idea
in the far future. In the far future of 1997, the Earth is overpopulated, and they're going to send a family to go colonize a planet that orbits Alpha Centauri. That is the Robinson family. The mission is led by the father, played by Guy Williams, John Robinson, Professor John Robinson. His wife, Maureen Robinson, played by June Lockhart, known as the mom from Lassie.
Yes, lovely.
And
Lockhart.
You've already mentioned Guy Williams used to be Zorro. Their oldest daughter, Judy Robinson, played by Marta Kristen. And then 11-year-old daughter, at the time in the beginning of the show, Angela Cartwright.
Angela, sorry, not Veronica. I was confused those two.
Yeah,
Veronica must have been on Daniel Boone. Sorry.
Yeah, Angela Cartwright playing Penny Robinson, who also might know previously from Brigitta Von Trapp from The Sound of Music.
Right.
And then their youngest son, Will Robinson, played by Billy Mooney, who you know from everything.
Babylon 5, It's a Good Life,
Babylon 5, the Twilight Zone episodes, Alfred Hitchcock Presents. In fact, there's an Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I think it was called Bang Bang You're Dead.
Yeah, where he has the gun, the
and-
loaded gun that he doesn't know
and
is loaded.
his co-star on that was Marta Kristen, back before she became Judy Robinson.
Yeah, and she
and then
appears on things like Marta Kristen showed up as Robbie's friend on My Three Sons, an episode of that. She's done a couple episodes of The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet, so she got around a bit before.
She was on a lot of shows, but was never usually part of the cast. She was always a guest star until Lost in Space.
So the big stars here were Guy Williams and June Lockhart.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Jonathan Harris was famous for like the Bill Dana show and a few other things.
Yeah. And yes, Jonathan Harris was Captain Dr. Zachary Smith.
Thought he was Captain.
And then you also had Mark Goddard, who played Major Don West, who was the pilot of the Jupiter 2. And
who had a crush, was the boyfriend, I guess, of Marta Kristen's character.
There was a love interest between him and Judy. So the plan was they were going to lift off to go on this mission. They would all be put in cryogenic suspension in the glass tubes that we saw until they went into the Alpha Centauri system. Then they would be thawed out. Well, meanwhile, Dr. Smith, who is the physician for NASA, or actually it's called Alpha Control, was a saboteur working for either a foreign government or an alien species. We're not really sure. It goes back and forth in the show, but he disposed of a guard, got into the ship while they were all in cryogenic suspension right before liftoff, programmed the robot that 8 hours into the flight, it would destroy everything in the ship. And then he became trapped there while they lifted off and ended up taking off with them. And his extra weight on the ship threw them off course into an asteroid belt. He tries to wake up the crew. 8 hours in, the robot goes crazy, starts destroying systems. They accidentally engage the hyperdrive too early and become lost in space.
That's about the last time we really see any actual science in the show, where they, his extra weight sends them off course, which was a nice touch, really, But we won't see any realistic science again much after the first couple episodes.
No, it was more of a space adventure show.
Yeah, it was Family Robinson Space, exactly.
And then once it went into the camp era, especially in the second season, where they were up against Batman, they just went on. It became very much a children's show by then. It
was Bill Mooney
retelling fairy tales with a sci-fi twist.
Yeah.
But
it remained popular for at least throughout that season. But then, like a lot of shows that embraced the camp, they were a flash in the pan kind of. They didn't last very long past a certain moment, I think.
Yeah, they actually did especially their first season. They actually did pretty decent in the ratings for a science fiction show, and even the second season. The third season, the ratings were obviously down. But the biggest problem was the demographic of the ratings. The demographic kept skewing younger and younger, which is not, the people who buy cars. So
no, cars or cigarettes or anything like that.
And they actually had the opportunity to do a fourth season, but they told Irwin Allen that he had to cut the budget by 15%, and he was furious and said no.
The budget was already getting lowered quite a bit. So
it was an expensive show to make. But what's strange is that even though that Star Trek is obviously the better written show and just a better show all around, the ratings for Lost in Space were far higher than Star Trek was. But again, all those ratings were kids
taking over the TV when Dad wasn't around, I guess. And of course, I'm sure a lot of it had to do with their competition and things. I think Star Trek probably aired later and might have had some fiercer competition.
I
mean, versus the mid 60s, which again, the 60s, just the imagination on display in the TV shows is just incredible. There's a YouTuber from quite a while ago who did like the 100 iconic TV themes, and he had so many, he had to go back and do another 100 iconic TV themes, right?
Yeah.
So Fred something anyway, and there's just the imagination is just off the charts, all the high concept stuff, and now they can barely think of a fresh idea.
That was the other thing, that the theme music for Lost in Space was done by John Williams, then known as Johnny Williams. And
he did all pretty much all the early Irwin Allen shows, and they're all fantastic.
Yeah, it's a great theme music. And then he wrote a new theme song for it on the 3rd season.
Land of the Giants.
And then also he wrote the incidental music for the those first few episodes as well,
which they reused ad nauseum afterwards.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
Oh, they reused everything, every prop. Yeah. Irwin Allen would use the same props for and the same monsters for Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea that we would use. Yeah. He would just spray paint them and reuse them.
The spray painted silver aliens show up in Time Tunnel as well, you know. So they're all over the place. Yeah. We got some good comments here from
hydration.
And we have David making a reference to the movie version with, hey, Matt LeBlanc was Don. The movie I didn't think was too bad, actually. You know, I think it was better than the Netflix series myself. But
really, I actually like the Netflix series because I think it went back to those first 5 episodes where
it was a little too adventure. I thought there's too much modern angst and family, you know, squabbling dynamics for my taste. There was some cool stuff in there, but difficult to sustain camp in a TV series is very true. And Batman suffered from that. That's why it was a kind of flash in the pan. It was huge, and then fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
But it is entertaining. Now you watch that now, and Adam West is a comedy genius when you watch that show. His deadpan, you know.
Yeah, and that's sort of the way that you have to watch the later episodes of Lost in Space. Is you just have to, accept the fact that just enjoy the ridiculous nature of it when they had they start bringing in aliens with paper mache heads as dragons.
Yeah.
Some more props. I also have, of course,
nice,
the B9, and even
was it Vic Perrin with the voice? Oh, very cool.
B9 Pez dispenser.
Ha ha. Oh, it actually speaks. Nice.
Yeah. And more. Of course, we have the Johnny Lightning versions of the Jupiter 2. And in the 3rd season, they added the space pod.
Ah, right.
Which is how they got around the planet. And in the 1st season, we also had their vehicle, the Chariot.
Ah, right.
Which
that was cool.
I always wanted to own one when I was a kid.
I wanted an Arc 2. Do you remember that show, Arc 2?
Oh, yes. If I could find a model of the Arc 2, that would be amazing.
I know it's funny because Lost in Space didn't seem to run in my region. I was in Washington State, so I picked up, Oregon stations and Seattle stations, and it probably was on, but I just never seemed to be on when I was around. There were several shows like that, and Route 66 and Combat were never on, and I didn't catch up to them until as in my 40s or 50s. So,
well, luckily, go ahead.
I think Lost in Space would have had more happy memories for nostalgia for me if I'd seen it younger, coming to it as an adult.
Oh yeah. It's definitely.
I like that era of show anyway and movie, so I'm gonna be predisposed to give it a chance. But the campy episodes don't fare well.
No, I would still rewatch those first 5 episodes, and then there are a few other ones like Mr. Nobody, which features Penny more, and then you have
that one's pretty good.
3rd season, I think you have the Antimatter Man, which features Guy Williams.
Yeah, he finally got something to do.
Yeah, so the episodes.
What's the one with the screaming banshee that's got the creepy They're like somehow there's come across a Scottish castle and there's a weird banshee
Yeah,
moving
and he
around.
thinks it's his Smith thinks it's his dead uncle's ghost or something. I don't remember.
They were reaching at that stage.
Yeah. But yeah, they had episodes where they would occasionally feature one of the other actors, and those are always the ones that end up being my favorite. That let me see if I can find it on screen here. Where did I put it at? Let me scroll through some of these. That was the derelict ship.
Yeah, that's a pretty good episode.
And
Little
this interior with these sort of cobwebby things, that was the set for Fantastic Voyage,
right?
Yeah,
like when they were going through the lungs or something. Yeah, they took advantage of the
Allen
fox.
would just go in there in between shoots and just go, okay, we're going to use this for for our stuff.
Why not? Use what you got.
And they, of course, are notorious
stuff.
for crash landing and spending an entire season.
Oh, that vehicle is really cool.
Yeah. And
now when they take that out and encounter the Cyclops or whatever, the giant Cyclops.
I think I have that picture in here. There he is.
Yeah, there he is. Throwing rocks, paper mache rocks at him. That's a pretty fun episode. I like that's part of the first 5.
Yeah.
That vehicle.
Yeah, those first 5, they discover that the planet has an eccentric orbit and it's getting colder, so they're trying to go further south. So they cross this sea that is frozen over in ice, but then they discover this eccentric orbit is going to go the other way and it's going to heat up. And so you have this whole scene of them in the ocean and the whirlpool.
They had made for like a pilot movie, and they could really splash the boat out. Look at that! They're actually filmed on location for some of that stuff.
Yeah. And there's the space pod.
That's a cool shot.
That's
I can see why kids' imaginations were grabbed by that.
Yeah, these first episodes, that's from the episode The Keeper, which had Michael Rainey as the guest star.
Always good value.
And the giant plants that duplicate people. And then, oh yes, Robbie the Robot made a guest appearance on Lost in Space as an evil robot. And Robbie the Robot and the Lost in Space robot, or B9 robot, was designed by the same guy. I can't remember his name.
I forgot the guy who was in the suit too. I know that he was well liked by the crew.
Bob May was inside the suit, and then Dick Tufeld did the voice.
That's right, Dick Tufeld.
Yeah,
the voice, very memorable voice.
And of course, then you have your various monsters of varying degrees.
That's really effective there. That one.
Yeah, and this is one that was also on Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea.
Of course. Seaweed monster.
And then you have things like this.
Looks like Hop Frog from oh my. Yeah. Well, some of them are pretty funny.
And
cool. Michael Rennie was there in silver underwear. Yeah, I'm sure. Whoa. Some of those are kind of creepy. I'm sure they gave some kids nightmares.
Yeah, it depends on the episode, the one, and then the later ones they just I'm sorry, but that is not the scariest spider in the world.
It looks kind of sad actually. Yeah. But it's not, I don't know how it moved, but it's not, it's not bad, but
no, and you remember this is 1960s, so we did not have Star Wars budgets back then for TV shows.
No, and this is lavish compared to Doctor Who. So,
and then we start getting the paper mache heads, and there's Athena.
I can bet Athena was memorable for the few dads who might have been watching.
Yeah. Yeah, she appeared in a couple of episodes, and then this was Dead List of the Species, where there's a femme fatale robot the robot falls for.
Okay. Oh my.
And that's Verda and Idak. That's the with the Crush, Kill, Destroy one, and of course Tybo.
The Carrot Man.
This
that's
was
the one where they
also a
did
good
like It's a
episode.
Wonderful Life kind of episode. That's a cool episode, actually.
Yeah, and that's that one. That previous one is one where he gets back to Earth through a taser device through a matter transportation, and then nobody believes him that he's actually one of the Robinsons.
Yeah,
and then this one here, the execution may not have been the best, but I thought the concept was fantastic. The Jupiter 2, it's called Visit to a Hostile Planet. The Jupiter 2 goes through a time warp and ends up back on Earth in 1947, which happens to be the same year that the very first report of a flying saucer was. So they get mistaken for a flying saucer and a Martian invasion. And so I just thought that was a great,
that's a fun concept.
We
visited on Deep Space Nine with the Ferengi, right? When Quark and Rom and Nog end up at Roswell. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that's some good miniatures or matte paint.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
And this particular one was a life-size model that they used for that.
Wow.
There's actually footage of, I can't remember the actor. I think it's Malcolm McDowell, was going to set, and he was flying over a helicopter, and he took some home video of that while it was going on. So that full-size Jupiter 2 was out there on the movie lot when he was filming that. So it was a nice little behind-the-scenes clip that I think it was Malcolm McDowell. And then you had some of your guest stars, Albert Salmi. There's Warren Oates.
Yeah, Warren Oates.
You have Sherry Jackson. We had a lot of space cowboys, space pirates.
Yeah, space cowboys, space hillbillies, space pirates.
Space hippies. Do you recognize that guy?
Oh, he looks really familiar. I should be able to... no, you're going to have to remind me. He looks so familiar.
Daniel J. Travanti.
Right.
Okay.
Space
as a space hippie. And of course Zumdish, Fritzfeld, and
Kurt Russell.
Very young Kurt Russell. Yes.
Yeah, probably giving a better performance than anyone else in the whole show, I'm guessing.
And okay, here's a stumper. This person starred on a Hill Street Blues hippie. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I need to catch up here. Sorry. Okay. Crouch Geek. Love the Netflix show. I'm with you, David. I actually like the Netflix version. That must be a big Pez. Big Pez. Yes. It instead of doing individual Pez's, it gives you the whole.
I'm stumped by who that is. You're gonna have to give me a hint there, Rob. I can't tell from the Silver LeMay.
Okay,
yeah, catch up with that. That's good. You can catch up. We got some good comments.
The Lost in Space robot is just called Robot. He's never given a name. His model is the B9. The model is the B9 something series, the class YM3. So a lot of people refer to him as B9. A lot of people mistake him with Robbie the robot, but
like I did at the beginning there. Yeah.
A lot of people do. But yeah, it's
Lyle Wagoner. Yeah, it does look like Lyle Wagoner from.
You got it.
It wasn't me. No, it was Jim. Jim got that. Mystery Mayhem. Jim got Lyle Wagoner from Wonder Woman. Steve. Steve. What's her boyfriend's name?
Looks like great job, Jim. Yes, that is Lyle Wagner from Wonder Woman and the Carol Burnett Show. Some say he's B9, others say he's malignant.
He's malignant.
Oh,
hey, Steve, good to see you.
I need a drum roll sound effect for you, Steve.
Yeah, there's some fun guest stars in that show. They must have wondered what in the heck they were doing. It's like on Doctor Who. It's such an institution there that there's Michael Rennie bringing class to the thing for sure. I bet you Jonathan. Michael Ansara. Barbara Eden, the lucky guy,
and Captain Clink.
Werner
or Commander Clink.
Werner Klimperer. Yeah.
Werner Klimperer.
who is actually a really fine actor. I've seen him in a lot of dramatic parts too. But of course, Hogan,
Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful. Good
Like,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
Jim had a
then,
good comment about watching all these shows when he was, when he was a kid. Yeah.
oh yeah. And forward up. So there's one other thing I want to bring up. So when Irwin Allen pitched this idea, there was previously, before Lost in Space, there was Gold Key Comics had a series called Space Family Robinson.
Yeah, that's right.
And there was a lawsuit when they came out with Lost Space against Allen and CBS. They settled out of court, but this is
Oh, nice.
Space Family. This is volume 1. This is redone by Dark Horse Comics.
I'm guessing it's much better than the show.
Now, the way they settled it out of court was that they allowed Gold Key Comics to put Lost in Space as the subtitle on their thing. So this is an issue with Space Family, and it is Menace from Uranus. Because
watch out for those menaces from Uranus.
Because I am a 12-year-old boy. So
yeah, I'm sure many 12-year-old boys got a good hoot out of that on the playground afterward.
And then, just to show that we can still link this with BookTube, they also made a TV tie-in novel written by Dave Van Arnhem and Ron Archer, which is a pen name for I can't remember who, but they did a tie-in book. My understanding,
first episodes that they were working from.
Well, no, this is an original story.
Oh, okay, cool.
But my understanding, I believe it is. My understanding, I haven't read it yet, is that they completely changed the personalities of some of the characters and some of the design of the spaceship. So I think there's some mixed feelings on fans about that.
Yeah, there are some rabid Lost in Space fans for sure.
Yeah, and then of course there was the 90s movie that they did. I don't have the tie-in.
Bad. I don't think it was great, but it wasn't bad.
I don't have the tie-in for that movie, or the novelization, but they also put out other movies set in that universe. So this is Promised Land.
Which they did other books in the series. Interesting.
Yeah. So I think this might be the only other one that was put out besides the novelization. But it has the same cover art as from the people from the movie. And then, of course, the Netflix series, they did a couple of books. I only have one of them.
Really?
This is Return to Yesterday. And there's a second book in this series that I have to find, but I have not found it yet. I think maybe that is all my Lost in Space stuff.
You have plenty, man. That's great. I know some people who are the real one that has the maybe rival fan base is Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, and there's a lot of people with the flying sub and the sea view and stuff like that. Oh, do you have that too?
I have a flying sub somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I also have the Land of the Giants. I don't know if you can see it behind me on that shelf there. There is the Spindrift from Land of the Giants.
I've watched your intro video showing off your shelves and your cool figures and things about 20 times, freeze framing going, what's that? Because you lift it too much if you let it play at normal speed.
Yeah. Okay, what we got, Eric?
All right, what we got? We got Mark here. Hey, Mark.
I got this. I was reading word frequency. Well, that's a good excuse for.
And David said Playboy did or Hustler did Lust in Space. Will you show those, please? Right. We know. I'm sure Rob has those somewhere in a file somewhere. But.
Well, they did do. They also did a comic book series from Innovation Comics, some of which I think Billy Mooney was involved in. I know he was trying to do scripts for a wrap-up movie, but Irwin Allen wouldn't give him permission. But then the Innovation Comics, which I don't have and I haven't read, evidently there was a love triangle in there between Major, West, Judy, and Penny. So
Cool. Well, hopefully this is a slightly aged up Penny.
I'm hoping so. I'm
yeah,
hoping
we're
that a few
getting
years
into
have
some
passed.
scary stuff there.
Unrelated, we had tacos for dinner. Wow.
Thanks for that info, Steve.
Making me hungry.
Yeah, tacos sounds great.
Lost in the Space.
Although it's a little early for me for tacos, but
I love Lost Space. I was going to
when
I grew up. So was I. In fact, Lost in Space is I know this isn't a book haul video, but
I'll be right back, Rob. Keep it going.
Oh, okay. So when I was a kid in the early 60s, little kid, you know, at the end of the 60s, early 70s, we had the Apollo space program. NASA kept putting out concept drawings for moon bases and Martian outposts and cities in space and everything else. So I just assumed when I grew up that there was going to be no doubt that I would be a spaceman and have my own spaceship. I think a lot of us children of the 60s who were into sci-fi just assumed that. So then, on my recent trip to Goodwill, I found this book, Build Your Own Laser, Phaser, Ion Ray Gun, and Other Working Space Age Products. So now I'm going to be one step closer to actually being a spaceman. Now I just got to find the companion book for how to build your own starship and I'll be set. Okay. I had the movie soundtrack with the techno version of the theme song. Yes, I have that as well.
Sorry about that.
I bought my kids the B9. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just saying techno version of the soundtrack. That's fun.
Yeah. I bought my kids the B9, or my brother had the original robot toy in the 60s, worth a fortune now. Yes, I wanted that toy so bad when I was a kid, but we just didn't have, we couldn't afford shit like that as a kid. So, but yeah, that was, I would see that in the Sears or the J.C. Penney catalog and just go nuts.
Especially if you still, but what if you would it still be in the box? No, you would have played it with it.
Oh no, I don't.
All these
you can tell I don't keep any. I don't keep any of my toys in the box. What's the point? And it can't. The Innovation comics were a bit adult. Yes.
It must be if he's having a three-way with Penny or something. Oh boy.
I know the covers look a little more adult. There's a lot of the spacesuits are a little more scantily. Jeff did
Irish goodbye and an Irish return. Yes. Apologies. Major Matt
Mason toys.
I remember Adventure Men and G.I. Joe, but I don't remember that.
I can't remember if it was Matt Mason or not. I had a whole bunch of toys. I remember it was Major something, and he was an astronaut.
Might have been that then.
It could have been. There was also a series of little robots and vehicles that it came with as well. But
and Salvage One we were talking about earlier before we came live.
Yes, Richard, we did. Yeah. He built his own spaceship. Yes.
Yeah. I think he starts off as getting some garbage out of space. Isn't that what the
first episode is him going to the moon to try and salvage all the stuff that was left behind by NASA on the moon. I also have that on my hard drive, the Salvage One show.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I think they did get I think Warner Archive put the pilot movie out on a DVD, which I don't have.
All the innovations I saw on were just adaptations of horror films.
Yeah,
must have missed that.
Yeah, all the innovations comics.
I know Rain did some. I don't know if you want me to mention it, Rain, but I believe she did some of the Chucky artwork. Was pencil from Chucky.
Cool.
Evidently not the greatest comic book company to work for.
Oh, really? Huh?
Yeah.
don't pay properly or on time or something.
Or on time.
Or pay.
I think she had to fight to get her money. I had the space capsule and a figure, one of my first core memories. That's cool.
So that was Matt.
That was Matt. Okay, so yes, I did. And like an idiot, when I grew up, I decided to get rid of a lot of that stuff. And I'm kicking myself because you can't find it now.
That's a common theme with a lot of us, it seems. Stuff we got rid of.
The innovation did Chucky Comics, including you. You should be saying you did.
Yeah.
Or at least,
Space one or two obviously got a lot of memories for a lot of people. So I think that's a good choice that you picked there.
All right. I think, unless anybody else has oh yeah. Doing the innovation comics. Got rid of so much Star Trek and Space 1990 stuff. Yes. Yes, I've had to go, along with reacquiring books from my childhood, I've had to go and reacquire either toys or things that I had wished I had as a child, but couldn't afford. So I was like, once I got to the point where, hey, I have disposable income now, I disposed of it.
Well, what else are you supposed to do with that kind of income, really?
Yeah, I have quite a bit of Space 1999 and UFO figures as well, and some Star Trek as well.
Well, it's funny, the stuff that holds value. I was, because as we'll get to in a moment with Doctor Who, I'm always curious about the missing episodes. So many are still missing. And there was a hoarder in Australia who was apparently a film collector, among other things, and had all these old, what do they call it? U-matic tapes and things, or they had aired some stuff in Australia that wasn't, that's missing. And so people were looking for, hopefully going through these tapes, hoping to find some Patrick Troughton or William Hartnell episodes that are missing. But among the things this guy kept were all the cereal boxes that had, I guess they were the Australian versions, that had original Star Wars, on the box itself, all the Star Wars stuff. And he had kept them pristine and flattened, this guy. And they had towed away and thrown they had like 20 garbage trucks full of stuff they had pulled out of his house. And before this toy collector guy was called in to look at stuff, and he found a bunch of these, and he says, "You threw a bunch more of these away? These are worth thousands of dollars." And I'm thinking to myself, who is buying, a stormtrooper cutout thing on the back of it? Who's paying, thousands of dollars for those? But they have huge amount of value for fans. So I imagine the original stuff from Lost in Space, not as much as original Star Wars, but still worth a lot of value, probably.
Loved UFO, yes.
Yeah. Disposable income is meant to be disposed of. Yes, Rains, that's very true.
I am working on it. Anyone still have Topps cards from the day? No, I do not still have them. I used to have all the Star Wars Topps cards when they came out, and I think I gave them to, I don't know, a nephew or some child. I gave them to. I'm like, they probably didn't appreciate them.
The adult child that you are now, Rob. Was Topps the one that did the Mars Attacks cards?
I believe so. Who was it that showed those? I think Virgil showed those.
Virgil showed. Did he have the Mars Attacks? I know he had the yeah, maybe he did. I know he had some dinosaur cards that were pretty cool too.
Yeah, so. I think. I could be wrong. I think he had the Mars Attacks ones, and I was, because I was drooling over those. I didn't even know.
Yeah, Virgil had some really cool cool stuff he was showing off. Yeah, shout out to Virgil. Hope he's doing well.
Okay, thanks for stopping by, Steve.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
I had the strange change time machine in the 60s. Basically an electric hot plate. You would throw these Starburst candy shaped blocks on it and the heat would unfold them.
Interesting.
I have never heard of this.
Like those old chemistry kits that had actual real uranium in them.
I have some top cards packed away.
I even chewed the gum from the Topps cards. Wow. Yeah, Luke rookie card sold at auction for high six figures. Oh my God. I don't know. I guess hell, if you got the money to spend on that kind of stuff, why not? But I can think of better things to spend money on than a Star Wars card. But hey,
just
people have more disposable
Constance
income.
is making me really, really regret having given them away now.
Yeah, your nephew is probably laughing all the way to the bank. Maybe, I don't know. Well, I guess they'd have to be in a sealed set probably to get that kind of money.
Oh yeah, chewed the gum. Absolutely.
Let's do a couple more comments and then I'll kick into mine, I guess. So.
Me too. Melee had to protect the cards and would never be legal nowadays. Then you would grab the hot plastic here and put it in. All right. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, well, since Lost in Space is a pretty big gun, we're trying to kind of balance between big famous series and lesser known series. I chose that highly unknown series called Doctor Who. Yes. Now, I don't like to call myself a Whovian or whatever, but I'm not like a rabid fan. So not that I'm accusing Rains of your sister-in-law of being that, but she can correct me for if I make some mistakes. I know the original series quite well. But I've
never heard of this Doctor Who thing.
Yeah, the strange Doctor Who show that nobody's heard about, but that just was officially canceled this last week for the new series. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the new series. I've watched most of it, but and it probably reached equivalent Tom Baker Fourth Doctor peak with David Tennant and Matt Smith eras in the mid 2010s or so, around there, but 2015, something like that. But I like several of the episodes. I think it's very slick. It probably, the original show was made on, the catering budget of the new show, probably.
Yeah.
But the writing just wasn't up to snuff as far as I was concerned most of the time. But the original show has its share of dogs and camp episodes, but there's a lot of really good stuff in there, and it captivated me. My first exposure to the show. I mean, I knew who was this guy with the curly hair and googly eyes and huge grin. I'd see Tom Baker on TV and go, what's this weird show? But it wasn't until I tuned into, I think it was Oregon Public Broadcasting. I forgot the call sign of the station. And I happened to be flicking channels after dinner or right before dinner, and I came upon the second episode of a Peter Davison Fifth Doctor serial called The King's Demons. And I was immediately, what's this? It's so weird and strange. And then the very next, because they were showing an episode a day, that was great. I caught up with a bunch of them that way. And they showed the very next one was the 5 Doctors. So I found out that there were all these previous doctors and who the curly-haired, big-toothed guy was. And then they launched into the John Pertwee era, and then they went through the Tom Baker era, and then back to the Davison. And I was watching when Davison left the show and Colin Baker came in, and then Sylvester McCoy, who I didn't care for very much. And then anyway, the original show I'm collecting them on the the wonderful Blu-ray sets that are cram-packed with so many extras you couldn't watch them in a month's time, really. And I have my favorites, and I'm collecting even the old, the ones that I'm not particularly fond of, the Colin Baker and Sylvester McCoy era. There's some good ones in there, but I prefer the first 5 Doctors, and there's a lot of episodes missing. But for anyone who is not familiar with Doctor Who, which I can't imagine many people here are, although I know a lot of my fellow friends and science fiction fans kind of sniffed over Doctor Who because of its low budget and sometimes laughable effects, but the imagination and the writing and a lot of the acting, especially from some of the earlier principals playing the Doctor, and the sheer genius of the regeneration concept. I mean, it started off with William Hartnell in 1963, and we probably wouldn't be talking about the Doctor Who if it wasn't for the invention of the Daleks, which is hotly contested, but apparently Terry Nation owns the rights to the name and the characters, so his estate gets money every time they appear. But I'm sure there's a lot of people who can lay claim to be, designing but anyway, those little pepper pot, salt and pepper shaker kind of aliens were massively popular. Do you have one? Do you have one floating around?
I have
Nice.
2 floating around.
Nice. Are those the ones? I want to get the ones that they had. They're hard to find now. For a while there, they had little robot ones that would follow you around, and then you could
No.
put your voice through, and they'd walk around and pester your children, saying "Exterminate," or whatever.
The batteries are dead. They will move around, but they won't follow you. They're just
very nice. Nice. Yeah, it's a wonderful design. But that cemented the show's popularity. So it was created under the aegis of a Canadian guy working for the BBC called Sidney Newman, and he wanted a show that focused more on kind of history and science, etc. And so the Doctor they kind of fill in his backstory as they go on, but he's this strange alien living with his granddaughter, who's attending school, and his two school teachers, Ian and Barbara, are suspicious about what's going on with her. She seems much more intelligent than a regular kid, and which of course she is. And they follow her to where they see she lives in a junkyard seemingly, and she walks into this police box. They follow her in, and the police box happens to be a time and space machine called the TARDIS, time and relative dimensions in space. Bigger on the inside than the outside. Another wonderful concept. And the Doctor, first portrayed by William Hartnell, is a little bit more malicious seeming, or anti-heroic, I guess. He whisked them off to another planet. I guess not to the planet. They go back in time to the caveman era, and then they end up in the second serial, the Daleks, on Skaro, this planet where there's this race of kind of Eloy type blonde humans that are being enslaved by the Daleks, which are little teeny they're not just robots, they're little weird
creatures
kind
inside,
kind of weird little blobby things living inside. They've kind of mutated, and then they're in these little shells. And then anyway, later we find out that, because as the series went on for 3 seasons, William Hartnell was having trouble remembering lines and was getting ill, basically. And it was probably early onset dementia or something of that nature. But they sadly kind of forced him out, and he was not at all happy and pretty much heartbroken about it. But instead of canceling the show, they had the genius idea to say the Doctor is this alien and he can regenerate when his previous form dies. And so he regenerates into Patrick Troughton, and they hired character actor extraordinaire Patrick Troughton, who's a mighty fine actor, probably the best actor to ever play Doctor Who, as an overall kind of actor. And he made the show his own. Then it kind of got a little more, I wouldn't say kiddie, but it was getting a heavy monster focus, which of course is one of the things we love about the show. There's all these aliens and monsters. And the show was a little failing in the ratings on season 6 when he left. He only did 3 seasons. And of course, at that time, 3 seasons were multiple episodes, 40 some episodes or so a year. And they drastically dropped down to like 25, 28 after that. But then they hired comedian John Pertwee to play the Doctor for the 3rd incarnation. It went into color, even though a lot of British people at that time in 1970, when he took over, didn't even still have color televisions at that stage. But and John Pertwee, comedian, played it very straight and action man type. So what's cool, and then from then on, the show was off and running, and it never looked back really until it became just too expensive, and it became the redheaded stepchild of the BBC and was canceled in 1989. But it ran for more or less straight 26 years. There was a gap, kind of a hiatus there during the Colin Baker era when he was fired, basically, pretty much unceremoniously, unfortunately. Anyway, the peak of that show was probably the Pertwee, for popularity, was the Pertwee going into especially the Tom Baker era. Tom Baker took over, and he really communicated the alienness of this character, who's a Time Lord, kind of a renegade Time Lord. He was tired of his race watching all the evil going on in the universe and not doing anything to stop it, and so he took off with it, and with his this rusty old TARDIS and an old model that got stuck in it's supposed to be able to change. A proper TARDIS changes shape into different whatever you want to do to blend in with your surroundings, but his got stuck in a police box shape, and so it stays that way forever, and it's a time and space machine, and so many wonderful concepts in the show, and cool stories. And of course they pulled from everything. They pulled from stories, Dracula and Frankenstein. They pulled from H.G. Wells. They pulled from anything they could.
Oh yeah.
And it started to
definitely
lose
multi-genre. I mean, concepts that they would put into it.
The historicals were eventually faded out, but until they came back a little bit in the Peter Davison era. But they did straight historicals. They did the Siege of Troy. Oh, Pyewacket.
Just trying to get into all the stuff that's around now.
They were done in serialized form, so stories would go anywhere from, there were a couple 2-parters here and there throughout the original series, but mostly 4 to 6 parters overall. There was even a 10-parter and a 12-parter, I think 12 or 13. I think it's 12 parts. Correct me if I'm wrong, Rains, for the Daleks. Is it the Daleks Master Plan? Is that the one that goes for 12 episodes? And much of it is missing, although 2 have been reclaimed just this past year. 2 episodes. Episode, I believe 1 and 2 were found. So, in Film Collectors, I think it's called, is it Film is Fabulous? They found, they worked with an estate of a collector who passed away, and they had those in pretty pristine shape. Anyway, a lot of episodes, unfortunately, were wiped by the BBC, and it's not only Doctor Who that was wiped. Things like Adam Adamant Lives or Doom Watch, and a bunch, the original The Avengers. There were a lot of shows that had things wiped. Anyway, let's catch up with some of these comments.
I'm trying to put them on the background. So
good there. I probably missed them while I've been jibber jabbering away.
Yeah, you're right. Thanks for coming in, Richard.
Yeah, thanks, Richard. Rain said smaller budget, put the emphasis on better story ideas. That's right.
Yeah,
they had to be creative, and they were massively creative. Yeah. Reboot season 1. I freaked out. I was so mad. Well, I liked that first season with Christopher Eccleston, Constance. Not all of it, but I thought he was a really interesting choice. I'm not going to give. It's not a 38 season show. The original one was, it is pretty much now. There's it's probably the new one. I think just finished its 14th season. So if you add those 2 together, it's 40 seasons. But I don't really like to count the new series as part of it. So it's just not my taste. You got to buy 2 TV guides.
For Daleks Master Plan.
No, I think it's one of those is 12. Yeah, because there's one that was a Christmas episode called The Feast of Stephen, which has long been gone, where Hartnell looks at the screen and says, "Merry Christmas, everyone," so which people were not happy about, I guess. But yeah, it's a long-running thing, and it's a huge world to get into if you want to get into the Target novelizations, which were before VHS. That was what a lot of people, all they had to revisit stories that they might have been too young to see or forgot or only watched the once. And then, of course, all the extended kind of during what they call the wilderness years before the TV movie came and then the show came back. There were a lot of, what do they call it? New adventures. I think there's several different strands that Rains probably knows, but and of course there were comic strips and lots and lots and lots of memorabilia. I know Jules Burt as a friend who has tons of Doctor Who memorabilia, and he sometimes goes and looks at his collection. There's Barbara and Ian and Susan, the granddaughter, played by I think she had a couple kids at this time there, but definitely not a teenager. And again, you have some weird masked monsters, and they, the Sensorites and the Cybermen, who the original version is really creepy.
The very first version of the Cybermen
they get a lot better looking as they go on, but they're supposed to be the modern version. Yeah. But you watch it and there's cheesy effects, and there's Patrick Troughton, the second Doctor, with Polly and what's his name?
And then a lot of the lost episodes,
they're being reanimated, or animated, I should say, because they have all the soundtracks. Some intrepid fans set up recording equipment and recorded pretty clear audio of every single classic episode back then. So we have all the audio DVDs.
Yeah, and they had the original because they kept the
Holly
audio
and Benny.
track separate, so they with the films, but all the audio was there. But back before they did the fans started doing animation, which then BBC said, "Oh well, we should start doing this." So they started putting out animated ones. But before that, not only they had the audio, but they had a lot of still shots because the continuity people would come and take shots of the sets. And so there was a fan back in the day who put together the audio with these still shots and also had the scripts. So we put in sub captions and titles anytime there was any action going on. And they put these out on DVD-R on a not through legitimate means, but so I've
BBC
actually
was
got
kind of okay with it. They didn't really clamp down on it.
Nobody said anything about it. But anyway, so I was able to go on. I don't know if iOffer is still a thing or not, but I was able to go on and buy all of the classic Doctor Who episodes, including those ones that he put in there of the soundtracks and the stills.
I'm trying to remember
for like $40 or $50. So I had everything from William Hartnell through to Sylvester McCoy. And so I've seen or listened to all of them up to the last season and a half of the new series.
Wow. So you've watched more than I have. There's several of the older ones I've not seen because I haven't listened to all those audio in this. What do they call? There's a certain name term that I can't think of now that they call those with the kind of slideshow presentation. They're very well done. But so there's a few serials that don't have hardly any more than like a couple that they've been able to find of stills. So those ones are a little hard, but some of them even have little animations and things. They went to town a lot on those. And of course, Big Finish went back and brought a lot of the living doctors back with further stories. And back the only two conventions I think I've ever been, although I think there was a small science fiction book convention at my university in Western Washington University in Bellingham when I was going there. But I and a friend of mine, my best friend Kelly, and I were watching the show, and they had the Doctor Who Society of America or one of whatever the fan club was in Portland. They had conventions, and I met Peter Davison and Colin Baker. Colin Baker was there like a real trooper after he'd been fired, So, and Peter, they were both much bigger in person than I expected. They seemed much taller. And my friend asked a very funny question of Peter Davison because we had the hots as young 16-year-olds or whatever we were for Janet Fielding as Tegan, the Fifth Doctor's companion, and she always wore these tube tops, and she was an attractive young lady, and and mini skirt kind of things. And my friend said what his question to Peter Davison on stage was, "Are Janet Fielding's legs as nice in real person as they look on the screen?" And Davison said, "What an extraordinary question." And then he went on to tell a story about how they were always tricking her into gesticulating with their arms and her top would fall down and have all sorts of wardrobe malfunctions. And he even remembered my friend's comment when we went up to the line for the autograph signing back when they didn't charge for autographs. They just would sign it. And he wrote on my friend's photo of him, what an extraordinary question. It was very, very fun memory. But there were some, let's just say, odd people at the conventions. Let's put it that way. But that has never changed. But Viva la Difference. That's what Doctor Who celebrates is diversity and all kinds there. So anyway, I don't want to go on and bore people about Doctor Who. I'm sure most know about it. Sylvester McCoy, the problems I have with him, that's the start of where they start to get the Doctor as God, a kind of godlike figure, or Doctor as Merlin in manipulating events in his companion's life and past. And that was what the new series leaned into a little too much, as well as being a lot more shouty, a lot more bombastic. And so while I like some of it, I prefer to stick to the first 5 Doctors, particularly the first 21 seasons. Plenty to watch.
I've enjoyed all of them, but I think I shouldn't say I enjoyed all of them. enjoyed all the doctors. I think all their casting has been perfect.
Yeah, even the new doctors I like quite well.
I
Matt
think
Smith is probably
I
my
feel
favorite.
bad. I feel bad for Jodie Whittaker because
Yeah, she got a lot of
she's a
blowback.
fantastic actress. I thought her personality was spot on, but I'm sorry, Chris Chibnall could not write an effing script to save his life.
No, the whole timeless children idea is just
Yeah, and he just, aside from just ignoring canon, he ignored his new doctor. Those first few episodes all focused on meet this companion, meet this companion. Now a third companion. It's like, okay, you got a new doctor. Maybe write a freaking story for her.
I didn't have any problem with her. I didn't have any problem with Ncuti Gatwa. I thought he had a lot of charisma. Just he had terrible scripts for the most part.
The scripts were terrible. Yeah, when he came on, then I've only seen the first few of those, but it looked like Russell T. Davis wanted to turn every episode into a musical, dance musical. And
yeah, well, he came back with a strong agenda to push, modern, kind of politics, which Doctor Who always was political. I mean, the Pertwee era had lots of green, eco-friendly sort of plots and things, and always for the underdog against hidebound governments and things. But it's just too much on the nose stuff now.
Well, the BBC. That's it. I mean, you can write all that. You just have to have a decent writer to write it. You just have you have to incorporate it into the script. Really lets show down. Chris Chibnall seemed like he just wanted to upset the apple cart, and he didn't have an idea to replace it or build on it from.
Well, I had some problems with Stephen Moffat too, who is a wonderful writer independently, but when he ran the show, he really, as much as I like Matt Smith himself as the Doctor, I think he did a great job. Too much fairy tale kind of fantasy stuff instead of the science fiction. So it was all like hand wave magic, Deus Ex Machina sort of crap that you didn't see much.
I think that was one of my problems, especially, and you see it in a few of the other episodes, and even in the classic series, you see it. But you especially saw it in like usually there's at least good episodes, and then there's crappy episodes for each Doctor.
Yeah, that's true. Most shows.
Chibnall, I could not find any decent episodes of his. It's like every episode he'd have random things happening, and then in the last 5 minutes he would just have the Doctor spout out a bunch of techno babble how she magically figured it out, and then they all just point their sonic screwdriver at it and somehow
fix that's it. Another thing the new show did. It's too much way too reliant on exactly. Yeah. Patrick Troughton introduced the sonic screwdriver, and it was used a little bit with Tom Baker, but very limited. Usually it was Doctor Who being resourceful.
The Patrick Troughton first sonic screwdriver was simply a pin light,
little flashlight or a torch, as they would call it.
And then, of course, they started developing into a regular prop.
Always looked like a tire pressure gauge to me.
Yeah. But, and then in the new series.
Man, you're bringing the props, man. Good job.
So yes, I have a lot of screwdrivers that don't actually unscrew anything.
We got some good comments here from Rains and others. Constance, Virgin New Adventure books. Then the BBC 8th Doctor adventures during the wilderness years. Yep. Mm-hmm. Now, Paul McGann, I like him a lot. When they brought him back for like a little snippet special when they introduced him to the John Hurt War Doctor, I was like, man, I feel like I'm watching a real Doctor Who again. Yay. But the TV movie was too Americanized for my taste, making him half human, which I think they kind of hand waved away. Luckily, having him kiss this female companion, I'm like, the Doctor is not, a romantic character really, but they turned him into that in the new show. He's basically asexual. He's just he's aware of that, but he's, so that's too much leaning into that kind of thing for my taste. But you got to have the shipping stuff for the new kind of generation of fans, I guess. Sorry, Rob. What were you going to say?
Yeah, there's every once in a while, some person will come along, and I like McGann, but again, it all goes back to writing. Pharmacist, my vampire
Yeah,
great
the TV
uncle.
movie was, and having Eric Roberts cast as the
but
new master was
every so often they have this. There's this weird concept of that some people in, I want to say Hollywood, but obviously this wasn't in Hollywood, but in studios that think that your main character has to be human. I don't know why they think that.
You have to
but
humanize him. That's
they
what
did.
what was great about the old show. He
It's like,
was not a human, right?
yeah, and they did that with the movie version that they did. Oh God.
Oh, the Daleks Invasion of Earth 2050.
Yeah, Peter. With Peter Cushing,
Peter Cushing,
where they made him human, and then McGann they made him half human, and then Chibnall decided it wasn't Gallifreyan at all, some other planet.
I ignore that stuff. That's not Doctor Who for me. I guess
I've heard different producers make that comment, and different old time book writers, authors make that comment. Well, you have to have your protagonist be a human. And it's like, well, no, you don't.
no.
Your story has to deal with human issues that you can relate to, but you don't have to have. And for some reason,
that's why Tom Baker was so effective. He was very convincing as a not a human. You know, he was humanoid, but he wasn't human, and he got that alien kind of coldness. And you know, the Doctor is an alien that has a particular fondness for Earth, and of course, being the low budget show, it had to be set on the Earth a lot, or in a quarry somewhere. But he was very distinctly not human. He had a different kind of grander morality in a way. So yeah, there's all of that is when the show is hitting on all its cylinders, which for me is really the Pertwee era earlier on, and especially the Philip Hinchcliffe first 3 seasons of Tom Baker era, with stuff like the Robots of Death and Genesis of the Daleks, and that's Blink is my favorite of any of the modern.
That is a wonderfully written episode.
Even though the Doctor is barely in it, it's a Dr. Light episode. It's kind of sad that that's my favorite of the new series, but it's an amazing piece of television. Blink, the first one there.
Oh, thanks for stopping by, Jim.
Thanks, Jim. Yeah, Rains is completely right. You can tell that Russell T Davies really, he admitted a big fan of Buffy, and it's got that kind of postmodern, self-reflexive, sarcastic kind of humorous streak, which becomes one note after a while if you're not careful with how you write it. But anyway, I probably waffled on about Doctor Who too long. We should probably go to your next show, Jim, Jim went Rob, sorry, because we're an hour and a half in, so we should
just real quick. Obviously, some TARDISes.
I don't mean to rush you. Show off your cool props. I wish I had a TARDIS. I want a TARDIS.
These are from the new episodes, the Oods.
The Oods are some of the better creations from the new show,
and of course the new
Cyberman.
The new Cyberman. Let me see here. Let me move some stuff. Oh.
Do you have
this is one of the Clockwork people that
from the Doctor.
Took the whole head off.
The Girl in the Fireplace, right? That's a good episode too. I like that episode a lot. And the Doctor's wife, where his TARDIS is personified. Oh, is that one of the Jadoon?
Jadoon. Now, this one is this was
probably a lot easier to get a hold of the newer Doctor stuff. Yeah, that was right from the Tennant and Matt Smith area. Oh, there's Rassilon, maybe.
This was actually just a I think a G.I. Joe action figure, and my wife made the costume and did it up to make a Time Lord for me.
Good for her. And then, one of the more manly looking Time Lords you'll see.
Yeah. And then of course
K9. Yes.
K9.
Bobble-headed K9. Sweet.
So
I love K9.
Back in the day when I was going to make web series and make little mini TV shows, there was a unproduced episode written by Douglas Adams called Shada, which Shada was the prison planet of the Time Lords. And I decided that I was going to do a Robot Chicken style stop motion animation
Oh,
show
nice.
that was a cross between Oz and Doctor Who. Uh, that would show the prison planet of the Time Lords, where they would have all of Doctor Who's enemies and villains in this prison. And I even
Awesome, Blake 7.
and for the trailer for it, I had wrote and recorded a prison rap song
Oh man.
for that was going to be done. It's around somewhere on one of these hard drives. But I had
that's
my
awesome.
wife start making props, and that's why we used G.I. Joe action figures, which found in thrift stores. But she would do the head sculpt, so like the Zygon.
Oh, nice. That's a really good Zygon. Wow, it's one of the better designed Doctor Who aliens. Yeah, the Zygons
and then you had the Silence.
Oh, right. Yeah, the creepy Silence.
And
yeah, those
one of those we did get onto a body. We haven't. None of the bodies have been finished yet, but you can see Shada, Department of Corrections.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
And then she also did 2 of the head sculpts for
the Sontarans. Nice. And she's got the big iron collar too. Cool.
Yeah. And then one for the
the new version of the Silurians.
Yeah,
which I much prefer the older series version, but
and
those
then
look good.
On the new version for the what's it called? The Slovene,
yeah, the farty monsters,
yeah, the farty ones. We had
suits.
Couple of those.
Wow, she's really talented. Wow.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sounds like your wife and her sister that they're a talented bunch.
Oh yeah. I married into a very talented family.
Well, you're talented too, Rob. I mean, who would have come up with doing a Shada, stop motion animation series with the prison planet with a prison rap? I can't think of many people who would have thought up of that idea.
Yeah.
So
yeah, unfortunately, it turns out that doing stuff like that actually costs a lot of money.
yeah, it does.
Well,
David is painting that we're finishing up Doctor Who so fast. He says, yeah.
Okay. And then I do have one tie-in book. This is the Aztecs.
That's a great
episode. The only one I had.
That's a pristine copy too. I have a copy of Inferno around here somewhere, but I couldn't find it in time. Sorry. But Terrence Dix, one of the writers and script editors for the show, wrote most of those Target novelizations, and he was just a really solid writer. He'd make stories that didn't quite work on the screen make more sense logically in the novelizations and stuff. Yeah, Weeping Angel in the Backyard would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be. All right.
Oh, Brett. All right, what's your next choice there?
Is that all, my Doctor Who? Okay. My next one is a little more obscure. This is, let me see if I can.
I'm looking forward to this because this is one I'm not familiar with, so this should be fun.
This is a show called Star Maidens.
That's cool. Bunch of miniatures. Wow.
Yeah, let me take that back off a second. So, and yes, there was a novelization of this as well.
Now, this was a German-English co-production, is that right?
Yeah, German-UK co-production. It only lasted for 13 episodes. So the premise is there's a planet Medusa that was orbiting Proxima Centauri. A comet hit it. There was devastation. It got blown out of its orbit. They built their cities underground and traveled through space and then ended up getting pulled into our solar system. But the planet Medusa is completely run by women, and men are slaves. And the
women are pretty sexily dressed, if I recall.
Yeah. And
those Germans, those naughty Germans.
Yeah. So evidently there was some contention on the production where the Germans wanted to do a sex comedy romp, and the UK wanted to do a serious science fiction. And you can sort of see that both of
The
those things
tension
ended up
there.
happening.
Oh man.
But
Is it worth?
but
Is
they,
does it hold up at all, or is it pretty silly? What's your verdict on it?
I still enjoy it. It's strange because you're not really sure which side of the issue they're trying to take, because this was put out during the women's liberation movement. And so there's a lot of role gender switching and things. And so on some aspects, you think that they're taking one side, and then the other aspects, you have
Yeah,
the
very
on Earth,
skimpy
you have the
costumes.
Women's Liberation Army trying to get ray guns so they can kill all the men. So you get this sort of mix where you're not really sure where they stand on the issue. But and they
Mixed
do this
messaging.
thing. So we start off. Let me see if I get this back up there again. So
That's pretty
this is
cool.
where it gets
Miniatures.
destroyed. So we have Don Adams plays the
Yeah, Don
president.
Adams, not Don Adams from Gilligan's
No,
Island. This is
no,
Don with
no.
two
Two
D's, if I
Ds.
recall. Yeah,
Don
stunningly, he was in one of the
Don
Saint.
Double D Adams.
Don Double D Adams is
Yeah.
the accurate description.
Yeah.
Yes, I think.
She is the president of Medusa, I guess. And then next to her is, I believe her name is, let me double check there because I'll get these names wrong. I think it's Christiane Kruger is Counselor Octavia. She's in charge of the security. And then you have Judy Geeson.
Judy Geeson or Geeson, yeah.
Fulvia. And
oh, that's an interesting name. Okay, be careful about that.
Fulvia,
Gareth Thomas.
Fulvia. So
Fulvia. I thought you said something else. So
no, Fulvia with the F.
It's Gareth Thomas, and it looks like a German actor. Looks like Udo Kier, but it's probably not.
What's that?
It looks like Udo Kier, but it's probably not.
No,
Udo
it
Kier.
is Pierre Brice.
Pierre
Brice.
Maybe a French guy. Love Gareth Thomas.
But he's the main, and then Gareth Thomas from Blake 7 is his sidekick in this. So he is Counselor Fulvia's. I'm sorry, what's that?
I was just saying, are they Earth representatives, or are they some of the men enslaved by?
These are two of the enslaved men on Medusa, and this one's Bryce's character's name Adam, the one with the blonde streak in his hair. His name's Adam. The other one is Shem. Yeah, Shem is Gareth Thomas' character. So Adam is the concubine for Fulvia. That's his job. And
rough job, but someone's got to do it.
And Shem sort of works on her ship and does minor repairs and things like that. So he wants to escape from this planet. He doesn't like being a slave. Although honestly,
yeah, I could think of worse.
It doesn't seem like that tough of a gig to me, but to be with Judy Geeson.
No.
But now a lot of these a lot of this show had a lot of the same aesthetics as
UFO
Space 1999 UFO. That's because this was filmed in between Space 1999's first and second season. They redressed a lot of the sets. They used the exact same people. The crew was all the same. Even some of the guest stars on Space 1999, like Judy Geeson, were in this show. So we have the security forces.
You definitely see the influence of UFO there in those in the short shorts.
Yeah.
Hot pants, nice.
And this is one of the ships. So this isn't the ship they escape on, but so
so the men do escape.
What's that?
The men do escape.
Yes, they steal Fulvia's yacht, and there's sort of the gag that we can't fly this. We're men. We don't know how to fly a spaceship. You've watched long enough, so they escape to Earth, but they don't know how to land it. So they end up having to eject in a pod to land safely. And then, of course, the security head and Fulvia go after them and their ship to try to bring back these men. They know about Earth and they have banned people from going there because of their backwards way of having men in charge. And so they're going after them. They fail to get them. So instead, there are two scientists.
Eric Estrada.
Yeah, he looks very much like Eric Estrada, but there are,
So they take two scientists back instead.
So they take them as hostage until their two men are returned to them. And of course, the male scientist gets made into a slave and has to go into the mines. Not all of them get to be concubines. Some of them have to go down in the mines to work.
He wasn't good looking enough to make the concubine status, I guess.
And meanwhile, his assistant, the female, gets access to pretty much everything. They send them out to the surface, which has horrible conditions to do mining.
Oh, you got to hit some of these comments soon, Rob. Sorry, there's some really funny ones here.
Okay, let me. Oh,
yeah, don't finish your slideshow and then we'll go through them. There's some funny ones.
This is one of the android doctors that they use. A robot doctor. Yeah.
Love the hairdo.
And then we have.
How did the guys fare on Earth when they are treated?
Well, this is where it gets interesting because they the episodes switch between an episode between what's happened on Medusa and the episodes of what happens on Earth. And so you get a little more serious sci-fi stuff on Medusa, and then the Earth one is all played almost for comedy, where like this scene here where he's with the girls while I forget whether it's book club night or whatever, but they're just having their girls' tea and discussion. And
so sensitive.
And at some point he gets Fulvia to come down and try out this lifestyle. There's the women's lib who get a hold of the ray guns so they can plan the takeover for men on Earth.
Oh man. Well, certainly visually looks interesting in more ways than one. Yeah.
But yeah, they have so they have like episodes when they first come to Earth where they see this girl and they get all worried because she's a woman. She says she's going to tell her mom. And so they run off and panic because they're going to tell her mom.
Sorry, there was a weird wind gust that just startled me because it was shaking the shutters. Yeah, it sounds like a very fun show anyway. Yeah. There's a exchange between David and Brett, the Beast Reeds, which is really funny coming down there. Oh man.
Did Star Maidens air in the US? It did. Actually, it's weird because Star Maidens actually did better in other markets than it did in the UK. The reason it got canceled and didn't get picked up for a second show was because UK viewers weren't watching it. It actually got sent out to a lot of other countries. I think here in the United States, I saw it, I believe, on a PBS station. So I think it was aired on PBS. I'd be a slave there. I'd revolt or be a lion. Yeah.
I'd be revolted. Yeah. And then Brett comes in next and says, that would be more work for me, David. More concubine work for Brett. He'd be taking over. Hey, Deb. Your last book haul was very impressive.
It was an amazing book haul.
I haven't been able to watch all of it yet because you had so many books. I'm going to get back and finish it.
The Android creeped me out. The Android was very creepy, yes. Especially considering the fact that she's the surgeon and the doctor. That is going to be poking you with needles.
Manner would be.
Yes. All right.
Well, that's an interesting show. I need to check that out. No, it was released on DVD, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, it is available on DVD, and they re-released it, I believe, in 2016. I think it was released in the early 2000s. In 2016, I think they re-released and did a new release of it. So, yeah, it is worth checking out. I believe you can also see it, at least the first episode, and probably a few of them on YouTube. on various places. But
so is Don Adams in many episodes, or is it mostly Judy Geeson or Judy
no,
Geeson?
Judy Geeson and Christiana Kruger, and then the two guys that are on Earth, and then the couple of Earth people who get hostage on Medusa. It centers mostly around them.
Kind of wrap up, or does it just kind of end at 13?
It does. I mean, it does wrap up. It's sort of strange because I don't know whether I should spoil. I don't know. It's a 50-year-old show. They have evidently Medusa had some other enemies. That's evidently revealed, I think, if I remember correctly, that they were responsible for firing this comet towards their planet. And when they found out they survived, they came over to our solar system. And this all wraps up in the last 1 or 2 episodes where the men and the women of Medusa have to work together in order to defeat this enemy ship that's coming. So,
and then the women are left going, oh, maybe they have some value after all.
Yes.
Something like that. Okay. That's very interesting. Well, we're not done yet, Constance, but if you're going, thank you. Thank you for stopping by and hanging out with us. You probably got another stream to go to. Yeah, that's a very interesting show and a very esoteric and less well-known one. So that's probably less well-known maybe than even the one I'm going to mention next, but I'm not sure. It might be a toss-up between those two. But did you have any more thoughts, Rob, on Star Maidens?
Nope. Like I said, you can check out at least the first episode on YouTube.
I will do that.
I would recommend, just for fun. It's 13 episodes. They're only like 25-30 minutes a piece. So you can binge watch a show in a day. It's very easy. And like I said, it switches back and forth between being science fiction, being sort of more comedic episodes, and they both work. I mean, the comedic timing for those guys, for the characters of Adam and Shem, are pretty good.
Yeah, Gareth Thomas was a really good actor. I'm not familiar with the Pierre guy, but
yeah, I haven't seen him in anything else. I don't know anything else about him, but
this might be his claim to fame.
It's not a huge spoiler. It just sort of something that comes out of nowhere.
I don't think there's going to be a lot of people decrying Rob mentioning a brief thing about the end of Star Maidens, David. But you're right. We should be careful not to spoil anything, especially on the lesser known series. Like the next one, which I'll talk about. My second choice is Sapphire and Steel. Now, Sapphire and Steel was made for ATV, one of the ITV sub networks. Another stream already. Awesome. Yeah. We're hitting the 2-timer today.
Yeah, we've done 20 of them since you've been gone, Steve.
So I somehow, even though I have the DVDs out of the case in a binder, but I retained the network distributing nice booklet cover there. So Sapphire and Steel is a very strange, unsettling, and creepy sci-fi, not quite horror, but there's definitely horrific elements in it. So the concept is that what we see on Earth as manifestations of ghosts or other paranormal behavior is actually incursions of time, and time is a force that can cause chaos and maybe even have evil intent or certain entities that come from it. And there's these kind of time agents that are not human. They're kind of linked with transuranic elements. So usually the start will say, I'll name all of them, and then it'll say Sapphire and Steel have been assigned. And then so Sapphire and Steel are played by, respectively, the lovely Joanna Lumley, who is fresh off of playing Purdy in the New Avengers when she got this part. And cool. Rains has a novelization. Cool. Sweet.
I just ordered that, Rain. If I would have known, I just would have borrowed your copy.
And Steel is played by David McCallum, who would be familiar to people who saw, of course, The Man from U.N.C.L.E. as Ilya Kuryakin. And then he played in Colditz, I believe, British war series. And he was the Invisible Man in a not particularly great I think, British production of that, where he's kind of an invisible spy, but he plays a very serious character named Steel. They tried to kind of match the characterizations to their elements, I guess. So Joanna Lumley plays the slightly warmer, decidedly sexy and occasionally flirtatious, but also very ethereal and strange Sapphire, who will try to interface more with the humans that they encounter to make them feel slightly more comfortable. And Steel just doesn't care. He's grumpy and terse, and he has the power. They each have their powers. They show up at a place where there's an incursion of time that's causing problems, and they don't really care necessarily. Sapphire cares a little more, but they don't really care about what happens to the humans that are getting impacted by these events, but they want to stop. They want to restore order in any way they can. So they'll try to do it without harming any humans, but then not always possible. And Sapphire can manipulate time, and I believe she has some kind of, what else can she do, Rob? She has some kind of other power that she can enter into certain artifacts, I think. And Steel has the power to control temperature, and he's massively strong. And so this ran from 1979 to 1982. It had a kind of hectic, not production schedule, but it was treated kind of weirdly. It was quite successful and popular, but there was a production strike in Britain that delayed some episodes, and then the license, I think, was turned over from ATV to Central Television, and they didn't want to have anything to do with it, so it was officially kind of canceled. But it ran for 25 to 30-minute episodes. I guess 25 minutes, because the ITV was the commercial section of British television. A lot of Americans think it's just BBC only, but ITV was the commercial rival, and a lot of the shows we think of as maybe BBC were in fact made by ITV. And ITV had many regions, and so they sometimes would only play in certain areas. A lot of this ATV its international co-production was ITC, run by Sir Lou Grade, both of them, and there's Sapphire going into one of her weird modes with her eyes turning blue. Anyway, they got these two big stars. They were pretty big stars for a low budget show. The show was supposed to be put in the children's time slot, kind of an early evening pre-tea time slot. There's a very creepy part of one of the creepy episodes, Assignment 4, with the man with no face who puts people and takes them out of photographs into the real world and traps others in the photograph. Anyway, they approached Dave McCallum and Joanna Lumley, and they were intrigued by the concept and signed on and really liked this show. And there was very minimalist sets. The first serial, so there were 6 serials. They were never named in the original script. So they're referred to as Assignment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the first 6-parter was a little more youth-focused, I guess, because it had a young guy and his younger sister. And their parents have gone missing, and it's creeperific, this first episode. And it quickly was switched to more of a family slot. And some of the episodes, in particular, Assignment 2 set in an abandoned railway station with a ghost hunter being the only other character there. And Assignment 4, where the weird faceless guy is in a kind of a, what would you call it, Rob? Like not a tenement, but kind of like a rundown apartment flats. And so they'll have these minimalist sets, and these two will show up, Sapphire and Steel, and they're very odd and inhuman acting, kind of. And they're poking around trying to figure out what's going on and trying to solve the issue. And the series moves slowly, but it's never boring. It's always gripping, and it's really, really creepy and eerie and unsettling. And it's got this kind of minimalist, like the one set in the train station is notorious. It's being haunted by some ghosts from what seems to humans as ghosts from World War I era, but it's really a science fictional rationale of this kind of time leakage coming through, and the ghost hunter that's there trying to contact ghosts. I think it's set in the contemporary times of when the show was made in the 70s. But I think assignment 5 is the odd one out because it's not written by the creator of the series is a guy named P.G. Hammond, who wrote some scripts for Ace of Wands, which is another cool creepy television show for kids. Supposedly all the British kids shows were really strange and unsettling, almost all of them very different from Americans kids shows, and you watch them and go, this was a kids show. And then this one is definitely not a kids show, though. It started off maybe trying to be that in the first serial, the first assignment, but it quickly, there's no more children, I think, that appear in the rest of the series. The assignment 5 is like a weird, strange manor house, Agatha Christie style mystery with Sapphire and Steel as participants. And then the last one that's set in an abandoned diner, and it's apparently a trap set up by some of these weird time enemies that are trying to trap Sapphire and Steel. It's a very, very odd show, and I think most of it is on YouTube if you want to check it out. It's very, very interesting, creepy show. And Network put out a nice DVD set of all 34 episodes, and it's a very cool thing. If you like weird, odd, unsettling, creepy television, you can't go wrong with Sapphire and Steel.
Yeah.
Sorry, I rambled on a bit there. Rob, you want to add anything to that?
Oh, no, I think you got it. Rain agrees that with the railway station episode.
Yeah, a lot of fans have named some different, they have added names that fit the episodes, and they fit rather well. I think it's the fourth, assignment 4 is the man without a face or something. Anyway, they have good names for it, but technically there was never any names given to the serials. And Rain mentioned David Collings playing Silver. So occasionally in the first one they have Val Pringle plays Lead. He's this big, strong black guy. He has some heavy strength, to his element, and he comes in to assist Steel on that at one. And then later there's a couple episodes with Silver, who's very quick-witted and sharp-tongued, played by David Collings, who's a fun character actor who is in several memorable Doctor Who episodes as well. And it's just a very interesting show. It's very mysterious. You never quite get a bead on they talk to each other telepathically. Sapphire and Steel do. Mm-hmm. So you hear them in their own thoughts talking to each other as they're poking around the place, trying to find the spot where time has leaked in and caused damage. And it's very imaginative, very interesting show. Highly recommend.
Fantastic. I think there's some fantastic picks.
I think that's a pretty good start. We're almost at the 2-hour mark. Wow, damn, we went on. But so we'll get our structure out. I imagine when we have a guest, we'll have to be a little more careful on the time. But
I figure I can always ease back if we have a guest. I can always just pick one that week or
I think
and then ramble on
to the 2. But yeah, if we ever have 2 guests on, like if we have the Check Your Shelf boys on,
that would definitely one apiece. So if there are people still here, so let's to the chat. If you were on here and you had to pick 2 vintage science fiction shows, which 2 would you guys pick? If anyone's still here.
Yeah, well, I think we got Deb and Rain, and Steve might be hiding around still, and a few others.
I'm sure we picked one.
How many are watching? Can you see how many are watching right now? Above there, where the live thing, you should be able to see how many are watching if you're the host. I can't see myself.
I'm an idiot. Dark Shadows.
Okay, we got some people commenting. Yeah, we had several comments about Dark Shadows before. You are here, Deb. Yeah, David would like to talk about Dark Shadows. Space 1999. Yeah, no, David's been watching that. Those would fall in the 20-year from your birth date purview for you, David, I'm sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Deb, if you were on any show, I know you're not a massive TV person, but you must have experienced some. Well, Quatermass was a show, Rain. They were serials, one-off serials. They did the Quatermass 1, Quatermass 2, Quatermass in the Pit, and the John Mills did the Quatermass, I think, the kind of final one. I am kind of here, Deb says. Stargate Universe is past the cutoff, David. Sorry. You got to talk about that somewhere else. 20 years past your birthday, so 1988. Stargate Universe is much beyond that. Sorry, you always try to pull Stargate Universe in there. Survivors and probably The Prisoner. Yeah, those are great ones.
Oh, yes. Prisoner
Yeah,
will
I don't
definitely
care.
be on here at some point.
Care. The rule breaker, David doesn't care. Diver Dan. What's Diver Dan? Is that a
Diver Dan
cartoon or something? Come on, Mark.
I don't
You're
know
going
that
really.
one.
I've never heard of Diver Dan.
Did you just stump me, Mark?
Yeah, you might have stumped two,
Tripods,
guys who waste
yes.
a lot of time.
Yes.
Tripods, yes.
Yes,
Tripods is very cool. Too bad they weren't able to do the third book.
I know that. I wish they would have finished that off. That was a surprisingly good series for
Diver Dan, 1961. Starring
Starblazers.
Alan Swift, Starblazers, Yamato. We know in the sea there's adventure and danger. That's where you'll find Diver Dan. The sights that he sees are surprising and stranger than you'll ever see on the land. Okay. Interesting. 44 episodes. I don't know anything about this one. You stumped me there. 7 minutes. What I'm showing the time. Maybe they're little shorts.
So where to show? They're just one I have seen. The show on my laptop is different from the one on my phone, but both of them. Are they just showing different time periods? I run into that sometimes because when I'm watching live streams, like over on Jake's channel, I watch it on my TV, and then I have my phone playing it live also, so I can make comments because the TV app won't let you make comments or chat.
Well, the one where you did with Deb, you and Deb, when you were talking, I think about Tanithlee, it might have been one of the sci-fi book. I forgot the author's name. It was the Canadian author, maybe. But I was in with another person in the chat, but it wasn't going live on that original one. And then there was another one running. I had to go and find it a different version. So sometimes YouTube does weird stuff. So
I don't know.
Battle of the Planets, Red Dwarf.
Battle of Planets, yes.
Now, The Man from Atlantis' first TV movie is great, and then after that, it's diminishing returns. But a lot of fun memories. Kolchak, of course, which David had never watched until this past year, David. So Kolchak, absolutely. Blake Seven, yeah.
Blake Seven, yes.
My Gallery. Oh, we're going to get to all that good stuff for sure.
Yes.
We have enough stuff to do.
Will.
Ad infinitum if we wanted to, so we'll see how it goes. But hopefully everyone enjoyed our musings on these shows.
If not, I've had a blast.
I had fun. That's the main thing. Yeah, you and I have fun, and then some people in the chat had fun, hopefully, and hopefully some people will catch up with it later. So
not to put you on the spot, but have you chosen what our genre is going to be for next month?
If you're fine with it, next month is Jim's doing PI in July, Private Eye in July. So I'd like to do private eyes, private detectives.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think that would be spot on to fit in with that event. And also we missed June on the Range, so we'll have to catch the Westerns the next year. But
that's okay. That's
definitely okay. But I think PI shows would be a lot of fun. There's a lot of good ones from the 70s and some from the 50s. And so we'll cover some fun ones, and we could even see if Jim's up for joining us. I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Jim, I think he had to leave, but
the chat, but I can send him an email and see if you want to come on. You guys will be wrestling for who gets to cover the Rockford Files, probably. But
that's the beauty of it, is that even if the guest chooses one that I would have chose, that's fine, because that means they have to do the background research, and I just get to sit here and geek out about my favorite show.
Well, thanks a bunch for doing all those stills for Dr. Who and Sapphire and Steel. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's the easy part.
I'll get some more stuff the next ones, but I got some ideas already for what I'll pick for the PI show. There's so many, it's hard to, the 70s, just the era of the PI, so
absolutely. There's a lot to choose from in that. Those will probably be ones that sci-fi and PI will probably be ones that we hit up a lot because there's just so many of them.
David's going off on a Sid and Marty Krofft run here. Dr. Shrinker, Electro Woman and Dinah Girl, and the Bugaloos. I think we'll pass on the Bugaloos, but Dr. Shrinker will be
the
fun.
Bugaloos. I know that one.
H&R Puffin stuff and all that.
Yeah.
I don't get the reference to Sin City, I guess, although Sin City is definitely noir and built off of those. But yeah, I guess there was I think Clive Owen did play a PI of sorts in the first Sin City, which I really like that movie, by the way. But yeah, no, I think we'll be sticking to the 20 years after birth date rule, and I think most of the good PI shows we'd want to talk about would fit that. I guess Magnum PI is right at the tail end of mine, but I probably won't choose Magnum PI, although as great as that is. But
yeah, I think that one just hits for me. I'm not sure.
I think they started in 81, I want to say.
Yeah.
So I think we're both covered there. But Land of the Lost, Land of the Lost has got a big following.
See, that's why we don't have to worry. We're never going to run out of shows.
I will never run out. Never run out.
And someday I was sitting there and looked because I was going through lists of different shows. Like, oh, I'd like to talk about this show. I'd like to. And then see, I was like, premiered in 1985. Like, damn you.
Is that past your cutoff? What's your cutoff? 84?
Yeah, 84. So I think one of these somewhere down the line, we're just going to have a cheat day episode where like no holds barred. Just talk about.
We'll invite David on to do a Stargate universe. Then.
Yeah.
For sure.
Y50.
Y05? Y50, yes. The original Y50 is a lot of fun. Yeah. Bionic Woman for sure.
Yes.
$6 million. Yeah, we're gonna do a 70s superhero one with those $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman, Wonder Woman. Although I think Paul is check your shelf. Paul has done on the Son of the Show, Return of the Son of the Show. Those guys are covering Wonder Woman very well. So
seriously, everybody, if there's anybody here who isn't watching Paul and Mark's The Return of the Son of the Show, go check that out. I have a blast watching all their episodes. I think they're fantastic.
The whatever thousand SS man, yes, the $6 Million Man, Deb. I can tell Deb is definitely a reader and not a TV watcher. But that's okay. You run circles around me for your reading knowledge, book knowledge, Deb. But yeah, that's fine. I'm sure that stuff was shown down under there, but in Australia around that time. But yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff to talk about. So this is a great project, Rob. I'm glad that you invited me on. I appreciate it. And I hope everyone had fun watching either live or later. So
I knew you would be the one to pick for this stuff. I knew it from when we were on, I think that was again on Garage Geeks channel. I already knew that you had this vast knowledge, but I remember bringing up the show Cliffhangers and like, I think you and Chad were going, oh, yeah. It's like, finally, somebody in my life.
My people.
Chad
and I were like, Michael Dury played the vampire.
I've talked about this show over and over for decades, and everybody just looks at me like, I think you hallucinated that. I don't think that was a real show. It's like, yes, it was.
It actually got a DVD release not so long ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah.
I want a bionic dog.
Yes, that's right. She has a bionic German Shepherd, doesn't she? Yeah, that's right. Well, that's nothing to be ashamed of at all, Deb, and I know you're not. That's great to be a reader and not a TV person. Rob and I probably wasted many hours of our youth watching stuff we could have been better suited reading. But I was doing both back then when time seemed to last forever, and the summer 3-month summer vacation seemed to last, for months and months and months. I could get a lot of both done, plus playing outside. So. Yeah, Cyborg. Yes. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What's the author's name? It's on the tip of my tongue.
Is it Caden?
That's right. Yeah, Caden. Yeah.
I have that around here somewhere, of course.
Yeah. Those first three TV movies are interesting before the show kind of gets settled in. Anyway, that's for another show. We should probably sign off, Rob.
Okay.
We don't bore people too much.
Sorry, guys. We're old. Our bladders can't hold out much longer.
Well, I could go longer, but I don't know if people would want to watch longer. That's the other thing. So. Yeah, you haven't taken a break like I snuck out earlier there. Should have let you do that when I was going on about Doctor Who. But anyway, thanks a bunch, Rob. Thanks for people watching. Hope you enjoy this. We'll see you next month.
That's right. For Private Eye Time All right.
Private Eye
we
in
are
July.
out.
Out. See ya.